Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of On the Field, Off the Field, a podcast presented to you by Ashe Sports LLC. And I am your host, G Watts, aka The Voice, coming to you from my home base in Blackwood, South Carolina, of course. And just before we get started, a little bit more about Ashe Sports. We do specialize in working with athletes and sports managers to help evolve your overall careers while navigating through some of the rigorous but exciting processes in the sports industry. If you feel like you could use any assistance, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to sit down, talk with you to see if we could be a good fit to work together. We offer free consultations, so definitely take advantage of that. All right, so I'm gonna try to make this episode quick. I wanted to do it yesterday, but of course things came up. But I got a couple topics that I want to kind of run through. As we all know, one of the biggest storylines of the weekend was the NFL draft. Took place in Green Bay from Thursday through Saturday. Um, nice little setup they had out there. But one of the biggest storylines within the NFL draft was Shedeur Sanders, of course, out of Colorado. Um, Shedeur Sanders was a projected first round pick um, by a lot of media outlets, by a lot of analysts. And of course, as we know, he's obviously didn't get picked in the first round. Not only that, he didn't get picked on the first day. Um, he fell to round five, where he was selected by the Cleveland Browns. Um, so yeah, that kind of created its own big storyline within itself because now everybody wants to know why Shedeur Sanders wasn't drafted. What was going on there? Like, what was behind, just the decision making of the organizations who passed him up? Um, Now, of course, there has been like some good points made that a good amount of those teams didn't need a quarterback. Obviously, Tennessee took Cam Ward with the number one overall pick, and of course, we know they need a quarterback. Um, but it's like, you know, like me, a lot of people didn't expect Shedeur Sanders to kind of fall that far in the draft. Like myself, I believe that as a GM, as a coach, I will. Hey, if I see this guy slip past the first round, you know, even if I do got a quarterback, I'm gonna make an effort to try to see if I can get this guy on my team because, I know a lot of information out there said he, wasn't first round, material, or whatever, whatnot. But I mean, from what I saw, this kid plays hard. Um, this kid has amassed multiple accolades in college, and you know I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I would have to go look it up, but I think he threw for over 3,000 yards for each of his years in college. With I think his last year he threw for over 4,000 yards. Man, this guy was sacked over 100 and something times throughout his career. I mean, my coworker Marvin said it, man. It's crazy. It was a crazy number, and I did tally it up yesterday. But you go on ESPN.com, pull up his stats from Colorado. You'll see how many times he's been sacked. But even with that, man, he was still able to amass the accolades that he did. So, I mean, I think I think he's good enough talent. So it's like, I would have went and said, hey, you know what? Hey, I want to try to get this guy because two things could happen. We can make him a quality backup, even if we do have a starter, because as we know, injuries are real in the NFL, especially the quarterbacks. One good hit or one bad hit, and that quarterback's out. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. We all seen uh, uh, how Tua, those impacts that he or those hits that he took, nearly ended his career, and I think it probably should have still ended his career. Just kind of thinking on the health side of it. But quarterback go down. Hey, you want a good quality quarterback to come in because even being a Miami Dolphins fan, I've seen Tua go down. We bring in Thigpen. We bring in Boyle. Both of our backups went down after Tua. We couldn't get nothing going on offense. So it was like, I mean, if they did rush Tua back, you see why. Which they shouldn't have if that's the case. Um, but yeah, man, why not get this guy? Hey, man, look, we got a good quality backup. All right, we could develop this guy. All right, but also if we want to trade, hey, guess what? Now we could trade. We got trade value. Because I'm pretty sure now that we got this guy sitting on our team and we've drafted him, a lot of other teams, they're gonna, it ain't about, oh, are we gonna draft him? Hey, we can still get him, outside of the draft. I mean, I believe he would have been of high value in a trade with another team who actually did need a quarterback or who did need a solid backup quarterback. And I mean, even looking at Cleveland, man, like they said, look at their quarterback situation. We got Baker Mayfield, who hasn't been doing that bad, but you got Baker Mayfield. They said they had Deshaun Watson. He got his whole situation going on over there on that side. They also drafted another quarterback early in the draft, so they're sitting on multiple quarterbacks. Hey, who knows? Maybe they want a solid quarterback competition for that number one and number two spot. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, aside of that, man, I mean, obviously, I think politics played a role in why Shedeur Sanders fell. Obviously, a lot of people speak toward, the relationships that they have with Deion Sanders and his influence on Shedeur. Um, I mean, people was talking about, man, Shador was cocky. They had one of the worst interviews ever with the kid, and obviously we won't know that, And obviously some of these people who's speaking on this is obviously not revealing their name, kind of speaking on anonymity. So it's like we don't know if that really happened or not. You know what I mean? But from what I see, I mean, it doesn't look like this kid is cocky. It doesn't look like he's privileged. If he is privileged, I mean, hey, his dad is Deion Sanders, and these kids is making NIL money. A lot of these kids are cocky. Some of the first round draft picks they had on jury stood out more than they did. So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think they could use that cockiness storyline. I really don't think they could do that. I mean, maybe they don't want to deal with Deion. I mean, I don't see why. I think it ain't like you're dealing with LaMelo and them dad, LeVar Ball. I mean, I seen that whole situation, how that played out when it kind of first happened. Dion has not been in the media or in the same spotlight as the Ball family when their dad was at the helms of their careers. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I just really don't believe in that storyline as well. Like I said, I do believe that maybe it was political. I think they said Dion stated he didn't want Shador to go to Cleveland. And somebody on a thread that I was engaged in, they actually made the mention that hey, Dion said he didn't want Shador to go to Cleveland, so they still made Shador go to Cleveland, but they cost him millions of dollars because as we know, being drafted in the first round versus the fifth round does play a role. As far as how much you can generate in in terms of your contract. Um, States that first round draft picks generally receive higher salaries and more lucrative contracts compared to later round picks. So, I mean, that was a real deep statement there. So, I mean, I try to look at like, hey, did this kid have any off the field issues in college? You know what I mean, or throughout his career? I mean, from what I saw, I mean, when I tried to search it up, I didn't see anything like, oh, he was arrested or DUI, drinking issues or this and that, sexual assault trial. I didn't see none of that. Never. I didn't see any of that. They said he didn't want. He opted out of on the field drills at the NFL Combine. So a lot of guys have opted out. A lot of guys have opted out of going to the combine and still got drafted. Am I correct? So, or drafted, excuse me, drafted higher than Shadeur has. So, I mean, they try to throw a lot of storylines out there, but it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, some teams don't need a quarterback. Yeah, a starting quarterback, obviously, because that's what they was trying to, that's what they was looking at. Oh, he's got to come in, he got to be the starter. I mean, he really doesn't. He really doesn't. A lot of those first rounders, a lot of the first and second round quarterbacks who got drafted are probably going to be playing behind somebody to start. They're going to have to earn their way into that particular position. So, I mean, like I say, man, I mean, even Sean Payton, coach of the Broncos, came out and said, hey, man, this kid, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Y'all be aware. He's gonna play in this league, basically. Not quoting him, but paraphrasing. So it's like, like yeah, man. Like I said, I couldn't find anything crazy to say. Oh, well, this kid is he's going to be a problem child. Some, I mean, I think one story, one article read that oh, he looks like he was focused more on his music than he was on football. There are a lot of athletes out there who do music. You know, basketball. Excuse me, from the NBA to the NFL. Like there are a lot of athletes who do music. Um, it's just like the things they're throwing out, man. I'm just not like I'm not buying it. Like I say, the biggest thing to me is that it was in essence political or personal to some extent. It was more, yeah, like you know, hey, we got the power, man, not you. Now, whatever happened behind closed doors to create that, I mean, like I said, we don't know. We'll probably never know. But the thing is, man, like you know, it's a business at the end of the day. I mean, I said it earlier is on that thread I was engaged in that hey man, look, you know, Shedeur doesn't owe Shedeur doesn't owe the NFL anything. The NFL doesn't owe him anything. The only thing they have to do is honor the contract that is presented to both parties and it's signed, and you know, go out there and try to play ball. That's it. You know what I mean? Um, but like I said, at the end of the day, there had to be something behind the scenes, something a little bit more deeper that created Shedeur Sanders to fall to the fifth round. Like, you know, I mean, I understood the first round, cool, because at the end of the day, once Cam Ward was selected, obviously Travis Hunter went to Jacksonville. We know they don't need a quarterback because they got Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, a lot of those teams didn't need quarterbacks. But yeah, man, like fifth round, that's crazy. So my hopes is that Shedeur Sanders goes out there. He performs well. He balls out. He wins championships. I was told that his mentor is Tom Brady. And as we all know, a lot of teams passed up on Tom Brady. But look at the success he had in the NFL. So, you know, that's my biggest thing, man. I just want to see this kid go out there and do good. Um, and you know, obviously, you know, we'll see how it plays out. You know, we'll see how the storyline plays out as the days go by. You know, preseason coming up, OTLs are coming up. Season's right around the corner, so we're definitely going to be obviously everybody's going to be keeping an eye on that. So now, I do think that. I mean, I was going to talk about the best picks in the draft, man. I think the best pick was Travis Hunter to Jacksonville. Obviously, like I said, they had Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. They do need another solid playmaker um, on the offensive side of the ball. Also, one good thing I guess about Travis Hunter is that he can play both ways. He was drafted. I think they said as a cornerback and wide receiver. That hasn't happened. I mean, for a while, where a player was drafted at both positions. So basically he could play. I mean, they was talking about like a 70-30 split offense defense. And as we know, that is kind of hard on a professional level. But hey, at the end of the day, they might have a defensive playmaker and an offensive playmaker, somebody who's going to sell tickets, somebody who's going to come out there and compete early. So I'm definitely excited to see, you know, what Travis Hunter brings to the Jaguars this season and for his career. So, um, I mean, you know, aside of the Shador situation, man, I mean, it was. I mean, I like. All right, let's look at the first round. So I'll just say first. Like I said, after the first round, like it boggled me that he fell that far. So now in the first round, like I can understand a lot. Those were strategic picks, and you know, you can't applaud some of the teams for not going with the flair, or whatever, whatnot. You know, it was what eight out of the 32 picks were offensive linemen. 9 out of the 32 picks in the first round were D linemen, which totaled 17 of the first round picks. 17 of the 32 first round picks allocated toward linemen for teams. So obviously, I do feel like it was a strategic draft in that regard. And you know, like I said, you could applaud the teams for definitely trying to build where it's needed and not just sell tickets. But yeah, I mean, that Shedeur Sanders, that situation is still crazy to me. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see kind of how it goes in the future, man. Because like I said, I couldn't find anything about what this guy, any off the field issues like that he has. He might be flashy or whatever, whatnot. But a lot of these guys are flashy. Um, a lot of these guys are cocky. You know what I mean? So, oh dang, I forgot who was talking about it, man. But they was talking about how even Johnny Manziel, you know. He was on the Shannon Sharp show. He was on the Shay Shay Club Shay Shay. So he was talking about how, man, he used to do the drink on Tuesday, drink on Thursday, man, go to walk through Friday. As we all know, Johnny Manziel had off the field issues in college, but that didn't prevent a team from taking him higher than they did Shedeur. So if that was the storyline, if that's what they didn't want to present, I mean, I guess, you know what I mean? Because there are still guys out here who have off the field issues and still, you know, acquiring, opportunities in the NFL. You know what I mean? So, hey, but yeah, man. So before we jump out of the NFL, though, man, I just wanted to kind of, take a look at the Miami Dolphins. Like I said, I am a Dolphins fan. Um, I mean, I feel like Miami Dolphins need a lot of help all the way around, not just on the field. I feel like we need help in the front office as well. Chris Greer being there for, over 11 seasons, and this is we haven't had the success that we really wanted to see. I know people who's talking about, hey, Miami needs to relocate. The Dolphins need to relocate out of Miami. Um, and it's like, dang, maybe they do, because maybe that Miami lifestyle isn't the place for them. You know what I mean? I have friends tell me that, I'm from Miami, so I have friends tell me that they would see players. Now, this is back in the day. I don't know about now. But they would see players in the club night before the game. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not that much structure. And I think more aside of the lifestyle, man, just structuring the organization, man. Starting from the top, from the owner Stephen Ross all the way down, man, to the coaching staff, man. Like, bro, we need better structure in Miami. I feel like we could change or draft, this type of player, that type of player, trade for this type of player, that type of player. Man, on paper, man, we look great. But when you can't win a playoff game in 23 years, or you haven't won a playoff game in 23 years, it's like, man, come on now. Like, what are we really doing over there? No matter how good we look on paper, it's like we always find a way to blow it. That's what I say. So, we did draft Kenneth Grant in the first round. Big solid D tackle. I can appreciate that. Obviously, I believe we lost. I think we lost. Obviously, we lost. Oh man, got my man name. We lost our D tackle that we drafted in the first round a few years back. But I know we lost some guys on the D line, so Kenneth Grant will be a good addition um, to that Miami front, I believe. Said he'll be playing alongside of Zach Sealer. I'm a big fan of Sealer. I think he plays hard, man. He's a tough nosed guard, veteran guy. So I think that's going to be good for Kenneth Grant to come in, and hopefully that kind of anchors the defense for everyone else to succeed around them. So um, round two, we got a guard, Jonah Savinia out of Arizona. Obviously, they're trying to bulk up the O line. As we know, our O line hasn't been great for a long time. So obviously, he's a rookie, so it's going to be interesting to see how he comes in, how he develops in the offseason, and see if he will be starting by game one. So Jordan Phillips, D tackle from Maryland, we got him in round five. Cornerback Jason Marshall from Florida, we got him in round five. Got a safety, Dante Trader from Maryland in round five. Now, one of the biggest steals that I heard we got was Ollie Gordon the second. He was running back out of Oklahoma State. They said in 2023 though he led the FBS with 1,700 rushing yards, and he was named the best running back in the country. But due to his supporting cast, as they stated, his production took a hit, which obviously possibly dropped his draft stock. That'll happen. So, but they say they believe that's a steal. Uh, he's a good young back coming in. They could kind of get him in the mix early, short yardage plays, and also create some nice, develop some nice plays with him and Devon A Chain. Obviously, we know A Chain's a beast. So number seven, we got Quinn Ewers out of Texas, quarterback out of Texas. That was the interesting pickup. I kind of like I kind of like Ewers as a quarterback. I think he's kind of undersized, but um, yeah, like I said, we need anything to help help us out if Tua goes down. I'm hoping his health. I hope he stays healthy, especially with the concussions. You don't want to see that happen to guys like that. So I believe he's a great guy, but if he goes down, we definitely need to have a solid backup on our side. We signed veteran Zach Wilson in the offseason. Yeah, you already know how that could go. It could go 50-50. He could come in behind, come in off the bench and he could make a splash, or he could come in off the bench and we lose every game for the rest of the season. So, but yeah, all in all, I guess it's not so much so am I happy with the Dolphins draft picks this year. I'm just like, are we going to actually do something with it? So, only time will tell. Like I said, OTLs preseason and the season is right around the corner. So definitely excited um, about that coming up. So, all right, man, we're gonna jump out the NFL real quick, man. A couple more topics I'm gonna just run through real quick before I get up off here. Where we at? Sorry, y'all, I'm just jumping through a whole bunch of tabs on my side. I think I lost the tab I wanted, so dang. My bad, my bad. But yeah, man, we're gonna jump into the NBA real quick, man. As y'all know, the playoffs are still going strong. Um, the Memphis Grizzlies are not. They were eliminated by OKC. Sadly, they were knocked out by OKC. They lost the series 4-0. Thunder won Game 4, 117 and 115. Looked like the Grizzlies were trying to make a comeback, trying to make something happen, but they couldn't get over that hump. So, a couple other or notable series. You got the Nuggets and the Clippers tied at 2-2. You got the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Minnesota leads 2-1. Um, Rockets and Warriors. Golden State, they lead 2-1. Um, uh, Cleveland and the Heat. Well, Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland leads 3-0 after a very dominating, impressive um, performance against Miami in Game 3. Miami lost by, who we lost by? 37 points, man. Jump was crazy. Like, I can't even call it, man. I don't know what was happening, bro. Like, it looks like we was playing. Do I think we was playing hard? Yeah, I think we was playing hard, but it's like Cleveland just got it. So, I don't know. Definitely going to take a miracle for us to come back and win that series, man. Especially with that 37-point loss coming at home in Miami, the last game. Like, that made it kind of even worse. So, this kind of like, kind of sparks the question is, what will Eric Spoelstra be on the hot seat? Because of this. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Eric Spoelstra, a big fan of him. But it's going to be interesting to see. He's been with the organization for a good while now, so we're gonna see what they're talking about in the off season. Now, one thing, man, I think our team is still a young team. I think our team has a lot of potential, and I know that the organization is going to develop those guys in a way where, man, we'll be back to the finals in the future. So it's just going to be interesting to see what they do as far as the coaching personnel goes. So, hey, Spoelstra, I hope you're in with us though. Let me just say that I do hope we retain Spoelstra. All right. So don't think I want him out of Miami. All right, man. Pacers and the Bucks, man. I haven't even been watching that series, but Indiana leads 2-1, which is crazy. I think they was talking about Giannis. Will Giannis be with the Bucks next year? If they don't kind of do nothing this year in the playoffs. I'm not too sure if he's under contract or his contract is up. Um, Let me look right quick, man. I wasn't trying to do no searching because I was trying to get through this. Give me one moment. What that contract say? When can Giannis be a free agent? Uh, okay, well, he signed looks like he signed until 2027, 2028. Well, he signed until his player option for the 2027-2028 season. But obviously, they're saying his future is up in the air depending on how well the Bucks do, I guess, this year, maybe next year. But you can always remember he could request a trade. He could show that he won out of Milwaukee. Trust me. We've seen it before. Obviously, we've seen it with Jimmy Butler coming out of Miami. He just made it known that he doesn't want to be there no more. Organization made it known, hey, look, hey, we'll be happy to let you go. So, um, but yeah, man. So you got that, man. Knicks Pistons. That's been a good series. They actually playing right now. They're in the third quarter. Looks like the Pistons is up 65-61. New York leads the series though. New York leads the series though 2-1. Excuse me. That's been a pretty good series. I watched a couple of those games, and Knicks for being a team that doesn't have a lot of playoff experience. Um, they've actually been competing well against the Knicks, and the Knicks is, I can't even lie, man. The Knicks is balling. Um, Sad to say, being that they're in the Eastern Conference, but they are playing good basketball right now in the playoffs. So Pistons are definitely keeping up. And then you got the Celtics and the Magic. Uh, Boston leads 2-1. So we'll see how that go. Looks like the next game is tonight at 7. Might check that one out. Oh man, if you didn't see it, man, you got to go back and see that finish from the Nuggets and the Clippers game last night. Oh my God, man, like Aaron Gordon. I mean, that guy deserves some type of award. I don't know how he did it, but Jokic, he did a fadeaway shot. Man, my man airballed it. Aaron Gordon comes out of nowhere, grabs the air ball, almost like an alley, puts it in right as the time expired, man. I mean, they had to replay that thing so many times, but they gave it to the Nuggets, which I think they should have, because, I mean, that was a hell of an effort by Aaron Gordon anyway. But he did have his hands off that ball, from what I saw. But, man, that was definitely like an exciting finish. So you appreciate those type of games where, it keeps you on the edge of your seat, especially if you're a fan of the team too. So, now, hey, this is a reminder for all you basketball players out there. That's why you need to box out. James Harden was just standing around looking at the ball. He should have boxed out. When the ball goes up, find your body and box out. That's exactly what can happen when you don't box out. So always remember that, man. Young players and veteran players, man. Please remember that. All right. So, all right, we're just gonna jump into last couple topics. Big story in college basketball, or women's college basketball, as I should say. Uh, Malaysia Fulwiley, former Lady Gamecock, she's transferred to Louisiana State University, also known as LSU, and she will be playing for Kim um, Milwaukee. Excuse me if I said that wrong. Sorry, I don't say her name too often. But yeah. So Fulwiley is going to be playing for LSU next year, which is crazy. Definitely crazy. I mean, bro, she could have went anywhere in the nation, but she chose LSU. I don't know if she's trying to make a statement. I don't know what type of storyline they're trying to build up behind that. But that is crazy to see that she decided to choose LSU. So um, I know Don Staley not going to say it, but she's probably like, man, you know. But I think it's all love still. I don't think it's no real bad blood. I think that I can't wait to see that game this year. I can't wait to see that matchup. And I'm interested to see if this is going to help Fulwiley excel to the player that everyone believes she is. All right, so Fulwiley definitely got to go out there and ball. That's one thing I'm gonna say. You definitely got to go out there and ball, because all eyes are going to be on you at this point, especially if you are a starter for the Tigers. So, and I hope you do ball. I hope she balls. Don't get me wrong. But it could still be one of them situations where I mean, she doesn't. She doesn't live up to the hype, and I don't want to see that, because you already know the critics gonna be all over her. So, definitely good luck to you, Malaysia. Definitely good luck to the Lady Gamecocks, who became my unofficial women's college basketball team from being here in Columbia, South Carolina. So, yeah, shout out to them as well. All right, man. So, man, last topic, man, I just want to throw out there. This is for all my student athletes and those who are in care of them. Um, Based on the most recent, I guess, settlement that's going on with the House and the NCAA, um, they're, I think they say they're looking to have over 150. They're going to eliminate over 150 rules, primarily related to how colleges can provide benefits to student athletes if the lawsuit is approved. So definitely, I mean, obviously that'll be a good thing, something that you don't have to worry about, but you never know how these rules can impact an athlete still. So always stay up to date there. Um, I know one thing that Judge Wilkins is trying to kind of get kind of removed from the settlement. She's having pushback on is she wants those roster limits removed. And at first, I mean, I don't say at first I didn't understand. I had to do my research anyway, but coming to understand more now, that is a big thing when you think about it because let's just say, okay, a team has, before a team had, hey, we didn't have roster limits, we had scholarship limits. All right, so we got 60 players. Let's just say we got 60 players, but we only got 50 scholarships. All right, so we could give out those 50 scholarships to the players we need to, but those other 10 players, they're going to have to basically, kind of compete without a scholarship. Most of the times, these are walk-on players. These are players who, come to school academically, but they decide to try to walk onto an athletic team while they're in college or, at their university. So that allow walk-ons to kind of say, hey, okay, look, we can't give you no scholarship right now, but you can walk on, you can compete, and you can try to earn a scholarship as seniors phase out and scholarships open up. All right, there's no roster limits there. All right. Now, when you look at roster limits, all right, so now it's like, okay, we got 60 players. Right now we got 60 players, but now they approved the settlement with roster limits. Now the roster limit is 50. All right, so we could give out as many scholarships as we want. We could give out 80 scholarships if we need to, but guess what? We only limited to have 50 players on the roster. So that means that will kind of cut out the opportunities for walk-ons. A lot of walk-ons who do come and they do work hard and they do compete. They do you know, do what they need. They do what they need to do to be a part of the team. Being a former college athlete, I've seen walk-ons have success like that, where they go from scout team to actually getting playing time. Um, you know, within the game, within the games. There's been walk-ons who've been drafted in the NFL. So I see where the judge is coming from regarding wanting to remove those roster limits, and I definitely hope they do. Because, like I say, I do want to see those opportunities stay alive for kids who have the opportunity to walk on to a team. So, but like I say, man, just y'all stay up to date with that particular settlement if you are a student athlete or you're the parent or guardian of a student athlete, because you never know how the settlement, once approved, is going to affect your child. So, or the student athlete you are in care of. All right. If you need some help, hey, feel free to reach out to us at Ashe Sports. We'll definitely be happy to assist. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to me, man. Anyway, my number's there. My email's there. DM me. And I'll definitely be happy to sit down, talk with you about some things, and try to help. So, all right. But that's going to be it for this particular episode of On the Field, Off the Field. I appreciate you tuning in if you did. And until next time, y'all stay safe. You take care. This is G Watts, aka The Voice, signing off. Peace.